More than 4 years now since 17 people were gunned down inside the hallways of Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. Today, jury selection underway in the sentencing trial of Nikolas Cruz. Cruz pled guilty last year to killing 14 students and 3 staff members there at the high school on Valentine's Day 2018. Now, a jury must decide whether he lives or dies for the crimes he has committed. We have live team coverage tonight. We begin with WPTV News Channel 5's Michael Williams outside of the courthouse there in Broward. Michael.
Shannon, the death penalty phase here, this trial could take 4 to 6 months, according to some observers. Just picking a jury could take a month and a half or 2. Behind me, the Broward County Courthouse complex, and 17 floors above, the center of the legal drama that will consume so many in this community and far beyond for the months to come. A look at Nikolas Cruz today, now 23 years old, flanked by his lawyers in the courtroom as the beginning of this long process got underway. As you look at Cruz sitting there, Judge Elizabeth Scherer beginning to call the first of perhaps 1,000 or more potential jurors and reminding them that they must adhere to Florida law. Implicit in that message is that Florida law contains a death penalty statute, and they have to be willing to consider that at least. For more on what has been happening inside the courtroom today, we go live to my colleague Ryan Hughes, who's been in the media complex just adjacent to the courtroom. He has the latest. Ryan?
And Michael, good evening. Today was a day that many victims' family members have been waiting a very long time for. About a half a dozen family members were inside that courtroom this morning and this afternoon in this first step in order to get a jury seated. As you mentioned, this will be a very long process. So jury selection is being done in phases today, being considered part of phase 1. Today, Judge Elizabeth Scherer, she briefed those potential jurors, and to be eligible to be a juror, she said you must be fair, you must be impartial, and you must know the law, even if they already know the facts of the case. Michael, as you mentioned, more than 1,000 people will be called for this case, but that number will be whittled down. In fact, today it was already whittled down, with people being excused from serving for hardships, time conflicts, vacations, weddings, or any extreme inconvenience. Now, since guilt has already been established, jurors will have to consider life without the possibility of parole, or they will recommend the death penalty.
You may be asked to come back another day other than today, and then at that time you may be asked to come back even another day in the future. And so until such time as I tell you you're excused, you're under an order not to discuss anything that goes on in this courtroom.
So to be clear, no jurors were seated today, but those who made it through the first round, they will be asked to come back in the very beginning of May. They will go through even more questioning. As we mentioned, this will be a weeks-long process, and then that trial set to begin as of right now on May 31st. Live tonight in Broward County, Ryan Hughes. Michael, back to you.
Ryan, thank you. Eventually, 12 jurors will be seated, plus 8 alternates, perhaps more, and far down the road, months and months from now, a jury will ultimately have to weigh aggravating factors, the cold-bloodedness of the killing, the planning of that killing, the obsession by Nikolas Cruz with guns and violence, weigh all of that against mitigating factors the defense will present about his lifetime. They will argue of mental health problems, the loss of his parents, and more, and within that balance decide death penalty recommendation or life in prison without parole. But again, that's many months down the road. Now we take a look back at all the events that have landed us here this day. February 14th, 2018, 14 students and 3 staff members were killed at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. Nikolas Cruz was captured a little more than an hour later, walking through a nearby neighborhood. He confessed to the killings, saying the voices in his head made him do it. Cruz faced new charges months after the shootings after attacking a Broward County Sheriff's Office sergeant in jail. Then in December 2019, a Broward County judge delayed the start of the murder trial to the summer of 2020. Defense lawyers claimed the case was moving too fast and would run the risk of legal errors that would result in an appeal and possibly a new trial. Then, June 2020, the death penalty trial was officially off indefinitely because of restrictions related to the COVID-19 outbreak. October 2021, the Broward County judge sentenced Cruz to 26 years in prison on the 4 charges related to the jail guard attack. Cruz also pleaded guilty to all 17 counts of first-degree murder in the Parkland school massacre. 2 months later, the sentencing trial was delayed again, with the judge saying parties on both sides needed additional time to prepare their experts for trial. January 2022, the lead prosecutor in the trial told the judge that attorneys were not ready for the penalty phase to begin in February, but the judge ordered both sides to be ready to start that jury selection on February 21st. February 2nd, 2022, the judge delayed the start of the trial again as prosecutors needed additional weeks to interview experts who are expected to testify. That brings us to today, the start of the sentencing trial and jury selection. The penalty phase could take up to 6 months. Jurors will ultimately recommend whether Cruz should be sentenced to death or life in prison without parole. The judge will then make a final determination. A long legal odyssey and a far longer emotional journey for families, at least 3 families of Parkland victims in the courthouse this day. At 5:30, our Capitol reporter, Forrest Saunders, will look at some of the changes in law that have happened since the Parkland massacre, many of those revolving around school safety and security, and much of that pushed by the grieving and yet determined families who said they wanted to make a difference for future students. That look then. Also, for more on this case, you can go to the QR code you see on your screen. We have complete coverage on WPTV.com, and we'll have continuing coverage throughout this broadcast, and of course, always online and on air right here at WPTV. For now, reporting live from the Broward County Courthouse in Fort Lauderdale, I'm Michael Williams. Jay, back to you.